and welcome to Naughty or Nice with Miss Cassie. Tonight, my very special guest is, can you guess? You've never seen him without his beard.
Yes.
Anybody?
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
I like hoes.
Oh, is that why Santa says that?
Santa says what he wants. Kinky Klaus says more hoes. I'm just saying.
Yes, everybody, this is the infamous Kinky Klaus.
That would be.
Yay,
and
so glad
welcome.
to have you here.
You know what? It's great to be here. It truly is. This is just an unbelievable year this year, and I am so thrilled to be part of what we do every year. It's great.
Excellent. So what's been going on?
Oh my, what hasn't been going on? This year we have finally gotten our 501c3 documents filed with the Secretary of State of California. We have filed our documents with the Attorney General's office and everybody. The only thing we have left to do now is wait for the Franchise Tax Board and the IRS to tell us we can issue tax letters, and we are officially a nonprofit in the state of California.
Wow.
Which is great because then we can get corporate donors on the vanilla side of the world.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because they have no idea that it's all us kinky people out here raising the toys for the kids and having a great time.
Oh, that's true. And, and I love, that the community does give back like this.
You know what? It is so unbelievable that the community gives so much. This is that time of year where we're collecting the donations for the auction, and the annual Kinky Klaus Seasons Beatings toy auction happens the 22nd of November at Sanctuary LAX. The doors will open at 7. The auction starts at 8 and should be done by 9, and then it's play till we kick you out the doors.
Cool.
It will be a lot of fun.
Oh, it sounds like it.
Well, we have this year we have a very special auctioneer coming who's volunteered to show up out of semi-retirement as a former Mr. Long Beach Leather. Really? Oh yeah. And if you don't know,
exciting.
If you don't know Alex Kate, you're in for a huge fun-filled evening because he is probably the most energetic, amazing personality is the only way to say it that you will meet in a very long time. And he will be helping us auction off all the wonderful items that have been donated this year. We've got some unbelievable paddles that will be there. We've got tickets to Sin in the City. We've got, Cyan has donated 2 tickets to DomCon to 2015.
Oh, that's a really nice thing.
You have no idea. It's pretty cool.
Is that like just for a day pass or?
It is. I don't have the physical tickets in hand yet. She said she is donating 2 tickets to DomCon. I assume it's the entire event, but we will know more as this week goes on.
I mean, that is just an awesome thing.
Oh yeah. And for those who've been to Sanctuary and seen the DomCon paddle that's right inside the door, she has graciously donated that to be auctioned off. And man, I haven't swung it yet.
Yeah.
But I think it could
really. She's
donating that.
That is an amazing paddle. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got some amazing.
She always gives so much.
She does. You know what? She is unbelievable. She just had the Thanksgiving slave drive for the food drive.
Yes, I was working at Sanctuary today. I mean, the stage is covered.
Well, you guys better get it out of there because we're going to need it.
Amazing.
We're going to need it.
It just really warms your heart. You go in and going, wow.
You know what? She's phenomenal. So she's giving us this amazing event. We're going to do the event at Sanctuary this year. She's helping us arrange to have valet staff to park people for a flat $5. So, nobody has the excuse of I don't want to walk down the street and I can't find a place to park. There will be valet parking, or people can park on the street if they want. The security will be handled. Everything is taken care of. We just walk in and do what we do and have a great time and get our kink on.
Yeah, it's a beautiful venue.
Oh, it's amazing. We're not, this is our 6th year. We're holding our price at $15 a person.
Oh, that's so reasonable.
It's really reasonable. And, after the venues, the costs are taken care of. Whatever money's left goes to buy more toys for the kids. We ask, like every other year, that people, if they can, they bring a new unopened, unwrapped gift to donate, and those gifts go to the children at Camp Pendleton whose parents are deployed to Afghanistan, Iraq, wherever they may be at this particular time. I mean, we've got guys over in West Africa building, facilities to help treat Ebola. We've got, and their kids are sitting, they don't know where mom or dad may be, and all they want for Christmas is to have their parent come home, but we can give them just a little bit as a thank you and hopefully distract them for a few minutes of the day and give them back a belief in the fat man. Or at least the, human kindness and goodness.
Well, yeah, we all need to be reminded that, I've had this argument with people many times. I believe that people are inherently good, but people are arguing, oh, no, good has to be learned. And I think deep down, everybody has charity in their heart.
I think that the majority of people basically are good by nature.
Yes.
I think that circumstances can cause people to do bad things. And I think that there's a very small minority of people that are just bad people. They happen. They exist. It's a reality. But for the most part, most people, I believe, are genuinely good and good-natured and good-hearted people. Look, if they weren't, this wouldn't be our 6th year doing this.
No.
This whole thing started because my youngest son was born on Christmas Day. He joined the Marines and got deployed to Afghanistan, and we couldn't send him birthday or Christmas. He was at a forward operating base, and we didn't know what was going on one minute to the next. So to bring some positive energy into the world, to hopefully get him home safely, we took our friends and strong-armed him a little bit and got a few toys donated and took him to Toys for Tots. And then I said, yeah, that's great, but we want to give to the families. People don't realize when you have a service member that's deployed, especially certain things happen to young service members. First of all, they meet young people of the opposite sex, and before they get deployed, they all want to go out and make sure that the young lady is pregnant so she won't go see somebody else while he's deployed for 9 months to a year. It is what it is, and that's the way of the military. Hey, I'm all in favor of it, let me tell you.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
I'm just saying, practice a lot. But what happens then is then they have this very young family on a very junior enlisted salary trying to manage a household budget with the spouse and the child being stateside and the service member being deployed, and people don't know. Not only are these guys not paid very much to go out and put their life on the line to protect our rights to be kinky as fuck, but they have to buy all of their creature comfort items themselves.
Yes.
They pay for haircuts that they're required to have. They buy toothpaste, toothbrushes, socks, and all of that stuff. So they're spending money in Afghanistan, and their wife is back at home trying to make Christmas happen, and they can't understand why the budget doesn't match up. I just found out my son is on his 3rd deployment right now.
Yes.
He's back on the ground in Afghanistan, and he has to pay $15 a week to get internet access.
Wow. That's
He can't get on the
outrageous.
internet if he doesn't pay. He's out there risking his life for us, and he has to pay to get on the internet.
Oh my
What's
God.
that?
Well, come on. If you were over there all by yourself with nobody or nothing to do, you'd be looking at porn online too.
They should look at porn. Fuck that. The government doesn't have free internet.
Well, I think I agree.
Should the government give him free porn too, Mel?
I'm gonna turn my mic on. Yeah, I think that every young man should have something to masturbate to. I really firmly.
I'm not discriminatory. I think young ladies should have masturbatory pleasures themselves, and I'll watch and make sure they do it right.
Oh,
Yeah, they should be able to go on the internet because of family members and be able to correspond with their family at any time,
Right.
at any moment. That's a crock. Excuse me, President and our government. That's a crock of shit.
Well, I'm not going to get into the politics of it all. There's still a few people I haven't pissed off, so I'll leave my personal politics out of it. But I agree that they shouldn't have to spend, $100 or more a month to be able to be on the internet, to be able to talk to their loved ones, and then they can't say anything anyway.
Well, no.
Where you at? Yes. They can't tell you anything.
No.
But to get back to it, so we collect these toys, we hold these events, we gather the money buys more toys, and we take them down to Camp Pendleton. We also help do events in Arizona. And the kids at Camp Pendleton have no idea where the toys come from. We deliver them. They are sorted by the family readiness officers. They're put, if you've looked at the Kinky Klaus and the House of Claus on FetLife, you see the huge Quonset huts that we've filled with toys over the years past. And the spouses get to go in, and it's like going to Target or Walmart or whatever, and they get to go shopping for Christmas for their kids, and they just don't have to go to the checkout.
Nice.
Look, we owe them at least that.
Oh, absolutely. And they really appreciate it. I have gone to the Christmas dinner that they put on for the families. I sang with a group that performed for them. It was amazing to see the camaraderie, the love. These cute little kids just running around and just so happy to have a new toy. And everybody's sharing food and just being happy. And we forget, that these are families.
Right.
And, we need to care for our families.
And just like our families, these kids get hurt. They have tonsillitis. They have appendectomies. They have broken arms and broken bones. And when they get put in the hospital, a certain amount of these toys and gifts get set aside into what they call the toy box. And when one of those kids goes into the hospital, one of those toys, the plushie or the stuffed animal or whatever, is delivered to them as if their deployed parent sent them their toy as a get well wish.
Wow.
They don't know that it didn't. They just know, hey, Dad's in Afghanistan and I got a toy and I feel better.
Yeah.
I always say it's the most and the least we can do. Now, I wish we could do more. I wish we had a never-ending pot of money that we could do more, because there's so much more that needs done. Last year we were able to give almost 400 Christmas stockings to kids in the LA and Orange County Rescue Mission.
That's amazing.
I don't know that we're going to be able to fund that this year. Times are tough.
They are for everybody.
I've heard all about the economy getting better, but my economy isn't that great. And without the help of elves and friends and loved ones and, people who donate anonymously, there's not much we can do to make that happen? I don't have $3,600 to buy 600 stockings and stuff them. If I did, it would already been done. You know, but we do what we can. That's why we started to branch off into the vanilla side of things. Mm-hmm. You know, we have the brand of North Pole Foundation that is now, you know, it's in the process of getting its 501c3 charter. We're incorporated, the bylaws exist, the board is appointed, everything's happening. You know, they're on, North Pole Foundation is on Facebook. We have a GoFundMe site that people can donate through that site on Facebook. You know, we can't do it alone. And if I ever hit the lotto, I wouldn't ask people to help. I'd just make it happen.
I want to go to the North Pole.
You said you want to sit on the North Pole?
No, Santa, I don't want to sit on your pole.
Damn. You know, a fat man just can't get any love nowadays.
Oh, she's on the Naught list.
Oh, I know. I know. She's trying for more spankings.
I know. Cold. It's getting cold. The winter's coming.
Yep. Well, you know, today's Veterans Day.
Yes, it is.
And I heard something over the last 2 days that just blew my mind.
What was that?
There are 8,700 homeless vets on the streets and beaches of Los Angeles and Orange County. 8,700 in 2 counties. You know, I don't know how we're going to adjust what we do in the future, but we got to do something to start helping those guys too.
Yeah.
You know, we talked to a friend of ours a couple days ago, and they were asking us questions about someone who's recently returned from Afghanistan who was deployed there. And, you know, we discussed PTSD. And this is a guy who's trying to assimilate back into a life with a wife and children. Mm-hmm. And he's got PTSD because of what he endured in Afghanistan. And he and his best buddy were going through a PTSD program, and the guy that survived the entire tour of Afghanistan with him committed suicide because he had survivor's remorse. He felt guilty that he didn't die with his other you know, comrades, for lack of a better term. He felt so guilty that he survived, he committed suicide. And so they're doing an intervention for the other guy so he doesn't. I mean, these guys need more help and love and support than we can give them. And if this helps in some small way, mm-hmm. I don't think it's too much to ask.
No.
You know, the other thing is you have to remember that these guys have a military mindset. They're used to solving problems, right? Mm-hmm. The military is, you know, the ultimate dominant energy. We're going to fix it. If we can't fix it, we have to kill it. That's it. We're either going to fix the problem or eliminate it. And so for them to come back and need help, it is unspeakable at times for someone with a military background to raise their hand and say, I need help. Whether that's for PTSD, whether that's, you know, I got hurt and I don't want to jeopardize my chance of promotion, mm-hmm. so I'm not going to complain that I was hurt, or that they're struggling to provide for their wife and kids to put food on the table. There was the year that my youngest son was born, who's now the Marine Sergeant, mm-hmm. I was a staff sergeant guarding one of the most top secret facilities the government owns. My job was to protect and defend the underground White House and Pentagon. I was in charge of security, and I knew I couldn't provide Christmas for my other 2 kids. There was no tree, there were no presents, there were no bows, no stockings. It wasn't going to happen. I had 8 years of service, and I couldn't afford to give my kids a Christmas. On Christmas Eve morning, I walked out my door to get into my car to go to work, and there was a Christmas tree cut in a stand. There was a bag that had decorations and lights for the trees. There was a box with a holiday meal, complete, pies, ham,
Wow.
biscuit, rolls, the whole 9 yards. And there were 2 large garbage bags addressed, one to each of my other 2 kids, and it just said, "From Santa." My kids had a Christmas they would not have had. That was the day my son was born.
Wow.
How can you not pay that forward?
That is an amazing story.
Well, you can't make it up. I mean,
No.
that's so.
But what a beautiful soul that you are, that you keep that and you cherish that and you choose to give back. You know, that really speaks highly of you and your drive and your passion for helping others.
Cassie, you know that I've been doing this. This is the 6th year.
Yes.
And I don't normally come out from behind the persona of Klaus.
No, you don't.
This isn't about me. It's never been about me. The reason Klaus was created, the reason Klaus exists, is because it's not about me. Klaus is each of us. Klaus is the culmination of all that we are and all that we give to help these kids. And look, it's not just about the presents to the kids at Camp Pendleton. It's not just about being able to give stockings to the kids in the rescue missions.
Mm-hmm.
We've helped change lives with Logan's Playground, a charity that operates in Phoenix to help kids whose lives have been immeasurably altered because someone they know or love in their family has been affected by AIDS. We can't do it without the help of people like Elf Uma and South over there, and Apex and Desert Dominion. We have connected with people that have allowed us to ship thousands of care packages to the men and women in Afghanistan and Iraq. Literally thousands. We took a full-size SUV, and it was I believe it was a Yukon. It was huge.
Yeah.
And we filled it. The driver's seat and the passenger seat were sitting up, and from the back of that to the back of the SUV, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, couldn't see out the rearview mirror, was full of the standard shipping rate boxes that we drove down to Camp Pendleton and delivered to the Single Marine Program so that they volunteered to pay the shipping to the Single Marines. And those boxes got shipped. When we pulled in the gate at Bassaline Gate, there was a Sergeant MP at the gate who said, "Wow, you guys got a lot of boxes in there." And we said, "Yeah, we're shipping them overseas." And he said, "You know, when I was in Iraq, I received a care package. And in that care package were a couple of Beanie Babies."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You know, most of the guys I was with said, I don't want no Beanie Baby. To this day, those Beanie Babies sit in my wall locker, lining the front of the top shelf of my wall locker." The person that I went with, who helped us make that happen, it was her and her family who packaged those boxes with the Beanie Babies and sent them. And she said, "My grandkids put those Beanie Babies in those boxes."
Wow.
And when we got down to the Single Marine Program and we called these young Marines out to help unload the vehicle, the coordinator there said, "Well, you know, my husband got one of those, and they had something in there they call a cold tie, which is a strip of material that's sewn with a polymer inside of it They dip the polymer inside water, and the beads swell and cool. And they wrap it around their neck and tie it off, and it lowers their core temperature. Because remember, it's 128 degrees, and these guys are in full battle dress uniform, and oftentimes in their chemical weapons suits that are completely enclosed, so they're hot. And she said, my husband got one of those. He said it was the greatest thing he ever got. And the woman that I was with walked out and pulled 2 of them out of her vehicle, went in and said, like these, I sewed them.
Oh, my goodness.
She was the one who had put those together years before to send over. We got a notification from a guy that said, I just want to thank you for this care package. He said, when I got this care package, I was despondent. I was depressed. I got passed over for promotion, and I knew my career was going nowhere. I was done. My wife was back in the States, and I knew she was seeing somebody else, and I literally had gone and got my pistol out of the arms room, and I was going to kill myself. But they called my name over the loudspeaker and said I had a package. So I went down and I got the package. I went back up and I opened it up, and I started to go through the package. And he said, I knew I'd get in trouble if I didn't go get my package from mail call. Now, this is a guy who's going to shoot himself. But his concern was, I don't want to get in trouble for not picking up my mail. So he went back up and he starts to go through the package, and he's, there's foot powder and a couple pairs of socks and standard stuff that we send these guys. And by the time he got to the bottom of the box, it dawned on him that people care. And he finished cleaning his weapon and took it back and turned it in and didn't kill himself.
Wow.
So you can't tell me that what we do doesn't matter. It matters. It matters in the real world to real people with real lives who are affected by what we do. And somebody 30 years ago gave me a tree and a box of food and some presents for my kids, and it was modest, but by God, to me, it was the most lavish, most priceless gift anybody could have given me. And so if that caused me to pay it back, and if today we give something to someone and they can pay it back, I'm all in, whatever it takes.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I mean, I was raised to give back. We were always doing something or giving to something or doing something for the school. And I just grew up doing that. And I have to tell you, it is good to give back. It's like, I may change this cause and that cause, but I'm always trying to do something for the greater good, because that makes me feel fabulous. And then if it helps somebody in return, it's even more of a gift.
Well, okay. And all the warm fuzzy stuff is great, but maybe there's that part of me, and I analyze this a bit, maybe there's that part of me that says, I'm kind of a sadistic bastard at times, and I might need to earn a couple of karma points for whatever happens after we're done in this life, and maybe this is a good way to help pay that forward too.
I don't know. I always see, I would want somebody to do this for me.
I can't imagine not doing it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's the truth.
We're here to help each other on this earth. At least we should be.
Right.
It's like, we all have our moments and everything, but we're all basically the same. We're human. We have needs. We need to be loved. We need to be acknowledged. We need to have somebody out there know that we're here.
Yeah, I think that it is important for us to remember, especially, the irony of this being today, Veterans Day. Freedom isn't free. We've got guys who are willing to go out there and place their life on the line for people that they have never met, to support, protect, and defend our rights, literally to be the kinky bastards that we are. They give us that right. They are willing to fight and die and pay the ultimate price for our right to be who we are and do what we do, and they will never meet us. And they don't ask for anything in return. And even when they're in need, they almost never ask. So we owe it, in my opinion, to these men and women who are carrying the torch of freedom to show them a little bit of love and respect and say what you do matters. That's all. And I've had discussions because of this being Veterans Day. I've talked to a lot of my friends who were prior service military. I'm retired from the military. We don't want somebody to come up and say Happy Veterans Day. We really don't even want people to come up and say thank you for your service, although it's nice to be acknowledged. What we want is for people to exercise the rights and freedoms that we were willing to defend. It's easy to stand up and say, I'll fight to the death for my right to fly the American flag. But it's hard as hell to say, and I will fight just as hard to protect and defend your right to burn that flag in my presence, in effigy and in protest. Because to me, the ultimate insult is for someone to disgrace our flag. But it only works if I'm willing to do it for everybody. I can't be selective about whose rights and whose freedoms I'm willing to support, protect, and defend. And that's what these guys are doing. We forget that we fought World War II, and we had more casualties in World War II than people could ever imagine, and I can't even begin to count. And then we occupied West Germany, and 112 kilometers inside East Germany, there's this little bastion of freedom, the island of Berlin, that we stood fast in for 40 plus years until, as they said, Mr. Gorbachev tore down that wall. We showed the commitment to freedom that we're willing to protect and defend those freedoms for people we don't know and don't ever need to know. We don't need their names. They just need to know that, you know what, they're going to turn their hair pink and purple and green and, go out and be anarchists all over the world, and, God bless them. Exercise that right. I stood in Berlin as a young private first class, and this little punk German kid spit on my dress green uniform, right on my ribbons, and said, I'm going to go home. And I wanted to rip his head off. And instead, I said, why don't you go over to East Berlin and spit on an East German soldier or a Volkspolizei and tell them to go home? And he said, they'd throw me in jail or they kill me. And I said, that's why I'm here, so that you have the right to spit on me and tell me to go home and not worry that you're going to get shot or imprisoned. That's what it is that these guys do every day, all day. They keep us free from that kind of tyrannic rule. So yeah, let's show up on the 22nd and buy some toys and beat each other with them in their honor, knowing that the money you spend is going to go to a great cause, and we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, lots of fun. Speaking
there
of
will
fun,
be naked
Mel,
people.
Mel, does anybody in the chat room have anything to contribute to this? Surely they must be fascinated by what's going on.
They're listening, they're not talking. We have a lot of people that are watching, and if you're watching, please come into the chat room so you can make a statement or ask a question. Don't be the lurkers on the outside. Come into the real world. Come on to the chat room. And that's what Miss Piggy says hello. So Miss Piggy's in the chat room. And so she's going oink, 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 oink.
Yay.
So,
We love piggies.
Always naughty and nice, Miss Piggy. Yep.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm just touched by these stories. My father was a World War II veteran who was over in Europe during that horrible war, and his division liberated Dachau.
Wow.
And we didn't know about this as children. I first found out about what my father did was when I interviewed him when he was 80 years old, and he told me the story about liberating, going in and being there at Dachau, and not having any food to give anyone, just, you know, little measly things. And he says that people were starved to death. And he started crying, that it affected him all these years. And I said to him, Dad, why didn't you tell us? And he says, you guys don't want to know. But, you know, vets are very proud people. And they don't, you know, go around telling their horror stories. They keep it to themselves because it is such an internal fight. Because even though they're fighting for liberty and justice and they're fighting for all of us, you know, sometimes it's very hard to reason the things that they've had to do to keep us safe. And I honor vets. I did not honor them during the Vietnam War. And I am ashamed to be an American because of what we did during the Vietnam War to our veterans.
Yeah, that's a whole nother Oprah. You know, those guys, the average age of a Vietnam vet was 19 years old. They didn't ask to go over there. They were drafted. They were ordered to go. They didn't want to be there. They didn't want to do what they had to do, but they followed the orders. They went into an untenable situation, and they knew going in that there wasn't a way to win the war. You can't tell somebody, go this far and stop, and then it should be okay. You either have to win or you don't start, and that's what happened there. And then to have them come home, and because the government ordered them to go there, to have the citizens of the United States spit on them and call them baby killers and worse. You know what? You want to know why we have 8,700 homeless vets in LA and Orange County alone? It's because they still haven't found a way to reconcile what happened there, and we didn't have even the screwed up VA that we have now to help give them counseling with their PTSD. And if you think guys that fought in Fallujah and Ramaldi have bad post-traumatic stress disorder, they do. But imagine in Vietnam, these guys got up on a Monday morning with a day's rations and marched through villages that they were all standing there waving the American flag. And they went out and they were out for 3 or 4 days, and they came back with no food, almost no ammunition. And suddenly the villagers aren't waving American flags; they're shooting AK-47s at them because they know they have no provisions left. And little kids are shooting at them. Mm-hmm. Women and children were shooting at them, and they were forced to do things that we are taught is not an honorable way to fight a war. I mean, we have rules about combatants in our military, and those rules only work if both sides play by them, and these guys were put in situations where those rules were thrown away, and they had women and children trying to kill them, and they were forced to return fire. And then when they got home from a mission they didn't want to go on, for a government that didn't support them when they got back, that the citizens were calling them names, and they were these evil monsters. I don't know that we can ever go back and undo that damage, but if by some means we can show some support to those that are now serving so that they don't feel that way, I think maybe that's helping turn the tide. Look, it doesn't matter what your politics are with regards to whether we should be there or not. If you want to be a Democrat, a Republican, a Tea Partyist, or somebody else, or something in between, who cares? These kids are over there because they're ordered to be there, and they're doing what they're supposed to do because they're ordered to do it, not because they woke up one day and said, I want to go kill people for a living. They said, I want to join the college program.
Yes.
Right?
They see it as a path to a future, and it is a viable path to a great future.
Oh, come on, let's be realistic. You see that 17, 18-year-old kid in high school, and he's trying to walk down the hall with the girl he's trying to take to the senior prom, and that Marine recruiter walks in in his dress blues with the white bus driver cap, and he's stepping proud, and she loses her mind. He's like, oh, guys who wear that uniform get the good-looking girls. I'll sign up. He's not thinking about Grimaldi and Fallujah.
No, he's not. And the recruiters do paint a rather pretty picture. And
Oh,
offer
absolutely.
a lot of pretty little dangly things in
Sure.
front of those kids who, I mean, they're still kids. They haven't had a chance to be an adult yet.
Correct.
You
Look,
know?
this is the only country where you can go fight and die for your country and you can't buy a beer.
I know.
Right? You can fight and die and kill for your country, but you can't legally buy a beer.
I know.
I'm still confused. You know what? If you're man enough to go fight and die or kill for your country, you ought to be able to have a beer.
Well, what do you think they ought to do? Raise the age limit of people who are allowed to be in the military so that they have a chance for maybe 2 years of living as an adult before they, go and fight for our country? I mean,
I respect you far too much to get remember, I've been that guy.
Yes,
and
believe me, my politics are quite different than yours.
Well, I know. But
I never ever dissed our military. I was never one of those people that spit. I supported and I understood why they were there and stuff. I will never support any kind of war. That's not who I am. But I acknowledge, that they choose to fight for a country, and I really appreciate that I have my freedoms.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wish more people would realize that, we are so lucky in this country to have what we have and have people that are willing to keep our country safe, keep it going.
Yeah, and the question that you asked was about how to fix the system with regards to kids in the military. Do you have them join later? Raise the minimum age. Do you allow them to drink on base? I don't think there's a good answer to that from any perspective, political or not. I don't think there's a good answer for that. You got guys that are going over there at 18, 19, 20, 21 years of age, legal to drink or not, and they're seeing these horrendous things, and then they come back and they try to drink away or drug away the problems. Mm-hmm. You can't erase those memories. The answer is in the counseling and the camaraderie and the PTSD and the country showing them love, support, and appreciation so that they don't turn to the internalization of the problem and start to do things that are unhealthy for themselves. Every 23 minutes, a vet commits suicide in this country. We're not helping them at the level we need to.
No, we're not.
And I don't have the answers on how to fix it. The VA spent $500 million on painting and artwork to hang in the VA hospitals instead of hiring doctors and therapists to treat these kids coming back. And they're kids. They are kids.
Well, yeah. I mean, they did a study on, the human brain, and actually males are not through adolescence until their mid-20s.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm
not there yet. I refuse to grow up. Screw that.
There's still all these chemical changes going on in their bodies. Their bodies are still growing. They are not fully matured, yet they're doing things that are expected from even somebody who is fully mature probably couldn't handle.
Right.
So it impedes their development, and it has psychological ramifications because their brain hasn't grown enough to be able to handle something of that maturity.
Agreed. Look, I was that kid. I was that kid at 18, 19, 20, 21. I've been places that we don't talk about. I've seen things that I try to forget. I've done things that I'm not proud of. But I am a good person.
Yeah.
And I've learned from all of that. If I could save one of these kids from the mistakes that I made, I would love to. But the truth is that as long as we have a government sending our young men and women into harm's way, we're going to have to find a way to help them decompress when they come out. And that's what we're not. I mean, we're getting better, but we're not there.
No,
the
but
answer
I
during
think that the bulk of the money, instead of being spent on weapons, should be spent taking care of our veterans.
well, look,
I mean,
we
really,
go back
we
to
do not take care of them. We do not take care of their families.
agreed.
You know, and there needs to be a shift here.
Yes.
You got something going there, Mel? I see you twitching.
Well, yeah, our government has cut military funding down like you would not believe, and literally cut military funding to save money, but they haven't done anything for the vets. And I think that our vets are going to be in harm's way in the next coming years, because they will be back on the troops, back on the ground in Iraq, fighting a group of people called ISIS that will behead anybody that walks in their way. And we are going to have a lot of our young people see the things that they saw in Vietnam, in Iraq. This is going to be a bloody, long-term war that we're not going to be able to get out of. We're going to lose so many young people, and their families here and their children here are going to be devastated. But you know what? If it wasn't for our brave men, we would not have the freedoms that we have right now. If we allow our government and our people to change, to accept the fact that people are beheading and that people are killing and raping and kidnapping women, thousands and thousands of women are being raped right now in Iraq. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Cities are being destroyed, and our government is doing nothing but sitting back and playing fucking politics. We need to do something because our troops are going back over, and they're going to be ill-equipped. Okay, I'm done.
Agreed now. We need to get back on topic here.
I'm all in.
Because we are here to support the good causes of Kinky Klaus, a wonderful event coming up on the 22nd to help give back to the families of the military and those that have helped us and other families in need. Our American citizens.
Right. Look, I was just going to try to find a tactful way to do it. You just did. God bless you. I love it. And Mel, I love your passion. And look, politics be damned. It doesn't. The politics don't matter. What matters is we have people in this country that are in need. Whether they're the children in the rescue missions, whether it's the homeless vets and families on Skid Row, or the children of the military that are deployed to someplace, whether you want them there or not, they're there. So, to me, my passion is to try to, if you ask my oldest son today, is there a Santa Claus? His answer will be yes, because he knows if he says no, he stops getting Christmas. Right? Look, kid, you're 35. You want Christmas? Tell me that there's a Santa. Okay? I believe in the spirit of the holiday season. And I don't care whether you want to call it Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. The spirit of the holiday season is to give a little bit of peace and joy and harmony to those in need in the season, to take a break from all of this, the politics, the means. You know, in war they used to have a ceasefire on Christmas Day. Didn't matter who was fighting whom. There was this, hey, wait, it's Christmas, right? We're in the trenches. We're in the, we're up to our knees in blood and mud, but it's Christmas. We're all going to stop shooting at each other for 12 hours, and that's what I want to promote. Let's give back to those in need. Let's help those in need. Let's show some very specific appreciation to those kids. Look, you don't get born into this world and say, I hope my dad is a patriot. I want my mom to be a Marine. You get born and your parent is or is not a patriot, or is not a warrior, is or is not deployed. Yes.
Pig Carrie has a question in the chat room.
Oh.
Piggy,
What
we
up?
love you.
And Pig Carrie says, how can I give a few bucks?
Okay, the easiest way to do it, if you're not able to attend the event, is to simply go to your Facebook page and look up North Pole Foundation, 3 words. Or you can go to GoFundMe.com and search for North Pole Foundation Toy Drive. If you go to Facebook, there's a link on Facebook through North Pole Foundation to the toy drive, and you can give, you know, we have started hashtag I gave my 5. Give up Starbucks for one day, one Starbucks, and give $5. Look, I've done the math. For $5, I can give a kid a Christmas stocking.
Yeah, Starbucks is expensive. I know
Right?
I can't afford it.
If you send $5, I will find, you know what? We'll find a way to get toys or Christmas stockings to these kids. It's what we do. I have contributed, not lost, because I don't consider, from the first time we started this till now, my family budget has donated anywhere from $800 to $2,800 a year to help make this happen. I don't get reimbursed for the rental truck or the gas or the trips to Arizona and the hotels and the food. And when I go to the Munches, I pay. I don't ask for any money back. There's no payment to board of directors. The money goes to the cause. You can look up the rules of a 501c3 and how little money you're actually required to give out of what is collected to the actual cause. I can proudly say that we give 110% plus. We use the money for the stated purpose.
That's awesome.
That's what it's for. If you contribute, again, Facebook, North Pole Foundation, find the link for GoFundMe site. There's a big picture of me and the guy from Orange County Rescue Mission with a box of Christmas stockings. Click on it. It'll take you to the link. Or go to GoFundMe.com and search North Pole Foundation, and it'll say North Pole Foundation Toy Drive. And you can click. It's $5, $10, $500. I don't care. Look, there's no gift too small.
No, and it's all.
And I'm not going to turn it away, and everything gets used. Did we put that link on House of Claus? You know what? There it is, GoFundMe.com. If you look up North Pole Foundation, it'll show up. And we will make sure that if you, on FetLife, if you go to House of Claus with hyphens, that link is there. There it is. Look at that. My ugly mug right there with the stockings that we gave the guy.
I'm going to try to put it up there.
Okay. But all you got to do, hey, look, there's the fat man himself. There we go.
Just a second, I'm going to do a screen cap.
Yes, let's do side by side here.
So there is the, you know what, and here's the other thing. For those of us that are old enough to remember the old Clairol commercial, I told two friends who told two friends who, look guys, share North Pole Foundation.
That was Wella Balsam.
Was that Wella Balsam? I thought it was Clairol. I told two friends.
No.
You know what, I'm a guy, I don't know. Whatever.
Nice
look,
and easy as Miss Clairol.
there you go. Whatever it is. I told two friends, look, just share the link with your friends. And there's a number up there of $8,000. If we get $8,000, that covers all of the stockings for 600 stockings for kids in LA and Orange County Rescue Mission. It also covers roughly another $4,800 to be able to purchase the toys, and this year to pay for the rental truck maybe, to take the toys down to Camp Pendleton. They require you to put a number up there, so that's the number I arbitrarily chose.
That's a great number. 8's a magic number.
Yeah, so Anything that people can do
Yes.
or are willing to do is great. And, you know, Piggy, all you got to do is tell your friends about that link and ask them to contribute.
So there you go. You guys can donate online if you can't be here in person on the 22nd.
But if you're here on the 22nd, show
Yes.
up, get your picture taken with the Fat Man in the Fat Man clothes. I will beat your ass, fondle you inappropriately for the camera. It's what I do. It's for the children.
Yes, I do believe I posted a picture of the two of us spanking my ass.
I believe that there's a photo of me with my hands inappropriately placed over your wonderful bosoms, and I know
there
that
are a few more pictures
yes,
like that too.
and I know that Rev Mel was kind enough years ago to take one for the team, and she said if we could get 100 people in the chat room, Mel, we could turn you over my knee, and by golly, if they could spread the word like that for the GoFundMe site, we'd make up that money in no time.
Ooh, so hey Mel, you want to do something really good for charity and volunteer to be spanked if they make the $8,000 goal?
You know what? I think that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But we will, you know what? If we hit that $8,000 mark, we will come up with something absolutely creative, and we will come back after we do it, and it will be exclusive here, and we will blow the roof off for people. I don't know what exactly we will do, but we will be sure that they feel like they got their money's worth for the price of that show.
I'll volunteer Cassie.
There you go. Oh, and by the way, if they show up, I have it on good authority that if they show up for the season's beating event, there's probably going to be cake.
Oh.
And for those of you who haven't been to the Fat Man's birthday party before, we have a very unique way of serving cake. So I'm just saying, if you show up, there might be cake.
Okay, there might be cake. And
no, there will be cake.
There will be cake, but the way that cake is served is a delicious mystery.
It is, well, to those who haven't shared it yet, it is.
We do need to wrap up the show. We've got just a couple
Absolutely.
minutes to go here. It has been so fun having you here.
Yeah, it's always my favorite, one of my favorite stops, and I don't even have to try to fit down the chimney. I just
how about that?
come through the front door and.
Yeah, we don't have a chimney,
Then,
so that would have been a good trick.
Yeah, well, you know, you'd be surprised. I've stalked harder places. I mean, visited.
Oh my goodness,
No.
you are a devious.
Oh, you have
Sorry,
no
sure.
idea. Well, maybe a little bit.
Hey,
Maybe
come sit on his lap and maybe he'll tell you some naughty Santa secrets.
Or maybe you can tell me what you want.
Oh, true. I told everybody to make up their naughty wish list to tell
Just
you.
bring it on. Tell me all about it. I'm not guaranteeing I'll make it come true, but
No, but
one of us will enjoy
Enjoy
you
it.
being on my lap. And I am an equal opportunity offender.
Never mind.
I have offended everyone equally, I hope.
and very well.
Yep. Well, should we show them some of those paddles that are?
Oh, sure.
Should we show them?
Have,
Do we have
about
just a
30
second?
seconds.
Oh, let's just
bring
show a
some of
couple,
these
a
out
sneak
here.
preview of what might be in store for those who show up. I love this.
Or
Oh, that is that. Oh,
Yeah,
that's like a
reminds you of college.
Yeah.
It was just that once in
Makes
college,
me
really.
want to make a special little kayak to bound somebody in, and do stuff.
I just wonder how. I just wonder how long it would take. I really wonder how long it would take for Blue Meets Blue to bust that over her ass. I think that should be the challenge.
Wow, these are awesome paddles.
Aren't they wonderful?
Well, it is now 10 o'clock.
Perfect.
Oh my God, that is awesome. Tire tracks! Tire tracks on the ass! This is so phenomenal! Oh, you guys, you got to come down and bid on this one. Oh my God. Somebody needs to come down and buy this from Miss Cassie.
Oh, and if they have not looked at Kinky Klaus House of Claus on FetLife, the list of auction items is up. It's not complete yet, but the first item is the Hello Kitty basket that
Phenomenal.
it is off the chain. And then there are so many other things. Extreme Restraints donated a fucking machine.
Oh, nice.
And it is an equal opportunity offender. It is adjustable. It is male or female anatomical parts for his or her pleasure.
Nice.
And it's got a retail sticker of $5.99, and it is up for auction to the highest bidder, and I guarantee you they will not be disappointed.
It doesn't sound like it. Oh my God! You guys need to show up on the 22nd.
I'm just saying.
This is just getting crazier and crazier.
Look at the auction items are up. Go to kinkyklaus.com and follow, or Kinky Klaus on FET and follow the link. Or House of Claus is easier. And the auction items are there. The details are there for the event. And let's just see how full we can get Sanctuary.
Cool. Absolutely.
I say
cool.
we should have kneeling room only.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Now, everybody, we are going to be off next week, and we will be returning in 2 weeks. So I hope you'll join me then. I have a very special guest in mind for you. Ooh, of course. All my guests are delectable.
By the way, there
Yes.
will be rope for auction.
There
Very
will.
special rope
Mm,
from Japan.
very nice.
Just so you know, because you're that kind of girl.
Yes, I
There
am.
will be rope.
Mm. From Ari Suiga.
I don't want to lie. I couldn't honestly tell you that, but I believe yes.
Woo!
It is. You know what? I will have the answers for that online by Thursday.
If it's what I think it is, that is
I know
gorgeous
that
rope. All my students out there, did you hear this? You could bet on some rope that is better than your teachers.
I believe that may be the
That
case,
is-
and it comes with the book on DVD.
Does it really?
It really honestly does.
Oh, what an amazing thing. I expect you all to be there.
Yep.
Okay,
So-
now we do have to wrap this up.
Yep,
So
done.
everybody go down to Sanctuary on the 22nd. If you can't go down, you need to go to GoFund It.
If you can't go down, we'll help you bend your knees.
Oh, there you go. Assistance. What a very helpful Kinky Klaus. He's got a
Never admit.
solution for everything.
I'm just saying, that's me. I'm a problem solver.
Yes, he is.
Saying.
So there you go. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night.
Good night. Thanks.